Question: do you know what your love language is? Do you know what that thing is that is a deal breaker for you? We're going to go over those 5 love languages, and I'm going to explain in detail what each one represents because it may not mean anything. I honestly did not learn my love language until the definitions of each were given to me. So I'm going to start with my love language, which is service, which are helps. I did not know that that was my love language until it was broken down. And so service and helps as service, a person whose love language is service is someone who gets more excitement from, is more appreciative of someone who comes alongside and helps. Now, don't get it twisted. I'm not talking about somebody coming in and paying your bills and those things. Example, if I'm at the gas station and I am putting gas in my car and someone comes over, a guy comes over and he is trying to, talk a little bit to the system. And the first thing out of his mouth isn't, hey, sis, let me pump that gas for you. I can't hear nothing else he says to me when he's talking to me because that's a complete disconnect for me. So it is the gentleman thing. It is the considerate thing. I had a friend that was in my life, and he could do something as simple as says, hey, Angela, I'm coming by and pick up your car and go get your oil change and go get your car washed. Those are helps. Those are things that tend to help my life be a little bit more easier because that person in my life respects that I am busy, that I'm doing a lot of things, and his way of accommodating me, his way of showing affection and consideration for me is taking some of that weight off of me and taking it on himself. That's service, okay? Then there's affirmations. It's not that somebody is needy and they constantly need to be affirmed, but sometimes things have happened in people's lives. They weren't affirmed. Maybe their parents were absent. Maybe the people in their life disrespected them and treated them. And so some of their self-esteem sometimes may be down. But sometimes just hearing, that's great, babe, you did that. You were I'm so proud of you. You are boss lady. You are just those words of affirmation that just put a little bit of pep in your step. So there's service, and then there's affirmations. Then there's time. Some people feel that the way love is expressed to them is because the person makes strong effort to spend time with them. Now, this is not somebody who always needs a person around, is getting an attitude because you didn't call, you didn't text, you didn't come by, you didn't do that. It's not from a constant level, but it is someone who puts value in that. So let's say you are dating somebody who has a very vigorous job, is very active, is involved in his church. Let's just say that they have a plethora of activities, but they always ensure that they make time for you. They sketch you in. They put you into their schedule. They make sure that they have date nights. They make sure that they know that that's important to you, so they make sure that they, on a consistent basis, include you within that schedule. That's time. So now we have service, we have affirmation, and then we have time. Here's one that people really misunderstand, and that is gifts. People tend to think that that person is a gold digger or a mercenary, somebody who, they always want something. Once again, it's not somebody who always wants you spending their money on them and buying them gifts. It is someone who realizes that because that is important to that person, that they do those things, and not just the Valentine's, Christmas, birthday, but sometimes it's just a small thing. It is sending flowers. It's listening. My mom and my niece are very, 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 they're some of the best gift givers ever. And my girlfriend, Gwendolyn, they listen. And so when you get together with them, like for instance, gifts is not mine, but my girlfriend, Gwendolyn, most of y'all know I'm an author and I have a novel out, and some other things transpired, and we went to celebrate. And my girlfriend came with a mug that was just beautiful. It was a drinking cup. and she had lyricist, lyricist, I forget what the other thing was, but nonetheless, it was still designed for me. That's what gifting. That's what somebody who has the gift of love as a consideration. That's their love language, meaning that they are being listened to. Oh, I liked this over here, or I like that over there, and that gift is provided. Considering them, I always make the statement. Bless my father's passed away, so it's easier for me to have the conversation. But like, and even with some other family members, my mother does not like flowers. She just doesn't. Yet for Valentine's or a birthday, they always give her flowers. They're not listening, or they don't care, or whatever that is. But guess what? She's better with a plant. She says flowers die. So if you want to give a plant, but if you listen, the goal is not you doing something for somebody on a holiday or a birthday. It's you doing something for them through the guise or the understanding of what they like and what they don't like. So I always think about that. So what is it that they like? So somebody who has that gifts are their love language, it's not, like I said, the real expensive stuff. Sometimes it is the most simplest thing that you said you like this perfume or this fragrance. You said that you know what, you liked Omaha steaks, not giving them a plug, but I'm just saying, somebody's like, you know what, I really like filet mignon, and so guess what? You ship in from Omaha steaks some filet mignon. It is letting them know that you listened, you understood, and you are providing gifts to them that mean something to them and not necessarily to you. So now we have service, we have affirmations, we have time, and we have gifts. Okay? So service, affirmation, time, and gifts. And then the final one is, it's so funny because I was just asked, Angela, do you remember all five? And what is the fifth one that I'm laughing at myself? So there is a fifth one. Touch. 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 Some people just like to be touched. Not all the time, not gregariously, but it's something as simple as walking down the street and holding their hand. It's something as simple as sitting next to them. One of my things, and it was said to me, we all like touch, but it's not just necessarily a deal breaker. But I know that when I'm out with a guy and we're someplace, I have a tendency to put my hand on his knee when we're sitting somewhere. So touch has its place. It is intimate without being overtly intimate. It can be very quiet. It's sitting together and the arm going over the shoulder. It is when you're coming in, actually kissing that person. It's those basic things that are important to them. So the most important thing that you can understand or appreciate about love languages are that you first, once again, as I'm always saying, you got to first know for yourself. You have to first know and understand, and you can't expect who you are with to, by osmosis, figure it out and figure out what your love language is. You need to be able to demonstratively show it, express it, and be in the moment in it so that they can understand, and not in their face, not, hey, listen, this is my love language. If you want to be with me, you need to. You never want to be so in somebody's face and be offensive. You need to be able to have communication and talk about the things that you like. You can talk about service being your love language without saying service is your love language. You can say things such as, you know what, I really appreciate that you took my car and that you washed it. That meant so much to me. I was so busy, I didn't have the time, and you stepping up and doing something, you'll never know how much I appreciate it. So you're affirming them through your words and actions that they did what was important to you. So never go through and function as though the person you are with is supposed to know you. You are supposed to express it, you are supposed to show it, and you are supposed to acknowledge it. And once you do that, and then you reciprocate, you need to be listening. You need to understand. Your language may be service, his language may be touch. Your language may be affirmations, his language may be time. Then you have to compromise. What may not be important to you is not relevant because it's about him. You are esteeming him above yourself. He is esteeming you above himself. I'm desiring to make you happy and vice versa. So there's a compromise. There's a meeting of the minds. Great example. I love what's called the chick flicks. He may love the bust 'em up, fight 'em up, gruesome. He may not always go to the chick flicks because I want to go with my girlfriends anyway. But he will compromise and go sometimes because that's important to me. I'm going to then go to those flicks and see what he likes and compromise. Not all the time, but I want to show him that what's important to him is important to me and vice versa. That's the importance of understanding your love language. That's the importance of understanding your mate. That's the importance of ensuring that you are giving back to that person, that you are not making everything about you, but you are instead making it about them, never losing sight that it must be reciprocal. You can't give and give and give and never receive. It's never going to be healthy. You're never going to have a great relationship. There's no such thing as 50-50. You might do 80, he might be 20, you might do 40, he might do 60. So don't get caught up in, well, it's a 50-50. Where does that 50-50 line get drawn? So love language. Learn your love language. Know your love language. Honor your love language. Express your love language. And learn your mates. And I promise you that when you both are considering each other, you will find a much more glorious experience. What is your love language?